My name is Finas. I'm one of the founders of the company, BuildNext. BuildNext is a tech-enabled home builder. We started in 2015. We are currently present in Kerala, Coimbatore, Hyderabad and Bangalore. We launched Bangalore Center a couple of months ago. So what we do is we build homes, and we're trying to build a brand for individual homes. So that is what the core idea behind BuildNext is. So most of our customers come to us with a plot of land where they want to build their dream home. BuildNext starts from there, completely designs according to their personal choices, customizations. We understand exactly who the family is, who's going to live there, understand their particular tastes and preferences, and create a completely customized beautiful home for that particular family. From a design perspective, we look at home as a product. So just like how you design a car or a laptop or a mobile phone, there is a lot of thought which goes into designing that particular home, how the space utilization is going to be, what all functionalities that particular family needs. We understand what sort of options do they need in the future home they're going to live in. And then we then take them through a complete virtual reality experience of their future home. We call it test drive for your home, which makes them which is helpful for them to understand how that home is going to be once it is built. So there is not going to be any confusion with respect to, okay, this is what I wanted to be built, but then something else has come in. So that sort of confusion is avoided because we have virtual reality experience. So the client will come as a family, with their kids or grandparents or whoever, who's part of that family, to one of our experience centers, the one in Bangalore we have in HSR. And they spend time going through their future home, room by room, understanding each space, and then along with our internal architect makes decisions on, what are the color choices, themes, mood boards they need, and then finalize a particular design which we will build, right? Once the build starts, the customer gets a mobile app through which they can track the complete progress of the building, right from from foundation to handover. Every day they can get update on the mobile app. If they have any concerns, they can raise that concerns either through mobile app, or they have relationship managers from BuildNext who they can immediately reach out to clear any misunderstandings they have. So in a way, it is just like a banker providing a concierge service, or a car manufacturer providing a service manager for your car. So exactly that kind of approach. We're looking at home as a product. We stand by our brand. Customers get an exact pricing for their home which they have chosen, and there's a price protection guarantee on it. So as long as the customer doesn't make any changes to the plan we've made or the design we've made, we don't charge any penny extra once that is finalized. So that is something which they can rest assured that there's not going to be an escalation which I haven't thought about, because BuildNext, at the beginning of design itself, we ask around 120 questions to the customer and their family to understand what kind of people they have, what would they like their home to be, what are their hobbies, interests, what are the specific spaces, customizations which they require in their future home. So all these questions are asked in a way for us to understand and make sure that customers planning for the entire home and not just part of the home. Right? So that is a very common mistake which usually happens in the market, where people are only initially thinking about number of rooms and the bathrooms and the kitchen and all that. But there are a lot of other things like utilities and, for example, shoe storage, newspaper storage, book storage, laundry, how many plug points you need in your kitchen, right? Where should the dishwasher be, right? Things like that. What should be the height of your countertop? It cannot be a common thing for everybody, because the primary user in the kitchen can be of very tall or a very short person. Then you need to adjust the height of the countertop so that it is comfortable for them to work in that kitchen, right? It's just an example. So there's a lot of focus on ergonomics inside the home, just like how you have in a car. You can adjust the height of the car seat and things like that, where you have places to keep your hand. So it's very well ergonomically designed by each car manufacturer. Similarly, we spend a lot of time and research on designing the right ergonomics for the particular family, what they like and things like that, which is then shown in VR. And then, like I said, on the mobile app, they can see visually the progress of what is happening with the complete transparency on what material goes into the site, how many people came to work today, right? How much of the money which they have paid us is being used till now, what is left with Buildnext to carry the work forward, right? So there is a complete transparency on the build process, on what happens at site, what constitutes that particular building. Are we sticking to the promise which we have made in the contract? So from that perspective, it is a very transparent process.
Right.
Once they have moved in, even after that, we provide a 10-year structural warranty on all our homes. We provide a free MEP check. MEP means mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Once you move into a new home, more often than not, you face small issues in plumbing and electrical. Some switches might not work, and some pipe has a leak. It's very common. So we ensure that a team from our end visits the customer's home. 3 to 6 months is the time period which we usually follow. When we, on our own cost, if there are any corrections needed, we do that.
Right.
And even after all that, if they need further support, the mobile app is still accessible for them. They can create a ticket. Our team will respond within 24 hours, give them solutions, what sort of help they need. So even after handing over, it is still a Buildnext home for us, and we'll make sure that it is cared for, just like how the customer is caring for the home.
So what is the criteria for a customer? Is there any minimum square feet, anything like that?
Yeah, so most 90% of our customer, the house sizes vary between 40 lakhs and a couple of crores. So that is what it is. And then we have a few high-end luxury homes, and then a couple of budget homes as well. So mostly it is in that middle class, upper middle class kind of target market is what is our current customer base is.
And how different are you from other people who are into this
market?
Right. So the major difference is that we look at home as a product. So there's a lot of focus on how the home is designed and not just how the home is built. Right. So is the home design correct? Is it exactly suited for the family who's going to live there? Right. Is the customizations which we have done, the architects have asked the right questions, and whether it is coming out exactly how the customer wants. So there's a lot of product focus, home as a product, like I said, from the design stage itself. And then we have parameters like building performance indices on how we can objectively measure how good the design is. So for example, let's say somebody presents you with two different designs, right? How do you decide which one is a better design, right? So we have parameters which are very objective, which will tell us, this particular design is good to live versus this particular design is good for reducing cost, right? So, instead of purely focusing on cost reduction, we focus more on livability. So will you be happy as a family living in that particular
So
home?
how many happy customers are there right now?
So we have delivered around 80 homes till now.
Right.
We are currently designing and building around 120 for direct customers. We have around 100 in B2B, where we're building the designing and building for some developers in the back end. From 100 over customers, we have very high CSAT score, customer satisfaction index, which is higher than 8.5 right now as it stands. We take a lot of effort in ensuring that the customer is happy, and most of that happiness comes from being transparent. Every data is available on the app. Even if some error happens at site, if in case something happens at site, it is still visible. We don't try to hide anything, and the assurance is that we have seen it and we'll cover it. We'll make sure that it is cleared, before the right time comes in. Right. So from that perspective, there is also a weekly update which goes on to the customer saying, okay, what happened last week? What is coming up next week? Right. It's a very structured process. It's just like, for example, IT project management, right? So where things which has happened is already reviewed, and then we are presenting a plan for the next couple of weeks. What can you expect at site? What is going to happen? Things like that. So from that perspective, customers are very happy. At least currently we have one of the highest CSAT scores in the industry, and we hope to keep it that way.